Hello folks, hope you're doing well. My name is Marc Gallagher. I am a professional musician here in England, and this video is slightly different from what you usually see in the form of it's another string review. However, it's one looking at guitar strings. Ooh, how interesting and very novel and very different for me. So, I play guitar as well as ukulele. I've done some string reviews on ukulele because that's my specialism and I know a lot of like the subtle differences. This one's going to be a little bit different. We're taking a look at a packet of Resonairr strings. So Resonairr, I learned about them through my mate Steve. He learns guitar solos on TikTok and other social medias, and he got a deal with Resonairr, so I reached out to them. And they have said, yeah, sure, we'll happily send you some strings, just make a video about it. So that's what I'm here to do. I've never played or used Resonairr strings. This is a complete new territory for me. Resonairr are a company, they are based in Manchester, so maybe I'll see them at some point someday, we'll see. But their strings are made in the USA. I don't know how the whole thing works, we'll have to ask them. But they have sent me some strings. My personal gauge of choice is 10s. So they sent me a set of 10 to 46, and I'm going to read the blurb and then also, restring my guitar and do some sound samples before and after. The blurb on the back says the following. Our AeroSeal technology features a carefully applied VCI microcoating that keeps your strings fresher for longer with absolutely zero compromise on tone, so you can focus on what matters most. It also says, unrivaled durability with a high carbon steel hex core, unbeatable tone, precision wound nickel plated steel, and unmatched feel, smooth responsive playability. So, my guess, based on just what I've read and what you've heard, so it's this AeroSeal thing is kind of, I imagine, a similar kind of coating as to like the Elixir nanowebs. That's just a hunch. The idea of it's meant to be a really thin coating to help the strings last longer while ideally not compromising on tone. That's the idea, and we'll see how it goes. The guitar I'm going to be putting this on is my Gibson SG. I've been having a little play of it today, and I feel, especially on the B string, I'm like, ooh, this desperately needs some new strings. So it's going to get a little bit of TLC. We'll see how we fare. In terms of like my predictions for this, so I am not as well versed in the world of guitar strings as I am with that of ukulele strings. So my guess is that Resonairr stuff is going to sound and feel like new guitar strings. We'll see. In terms of the sound sample for this, I'm going to go through my pedal board and through my amps. I've got the Vox AC10 and the Fender Blues Junior. So I'm going to not change any of the settings. I'm going to show you some clean samples, and also with this guitar especially, it really works best when you throw some drive on it. I'll show you the drive pedal that I use for it. So now that you've heard both of those string sets back to back, I'll give my thoughts. Firstly, let's talk about the packaging. Each individual string is in some folded paper, which is fine, and that's normal. However, the whole pack is got this kind of plasticky, foily kind of thing going on, and I'm guessing that's kind of like a seal for freshness thing, but I personally would much rather it be some kind of paper or card or cardboard like that of Elixir strings, for example. It would win me some big brownie points in terms of how it sat, in terms of the environmental impact. So that criticism out of the way, let's talk about one praise I do have, which is the feel. The coating on this is still very thin. Not quite as thin as, like, say, an Elixir Nano Web, but you do still get to feel the texture of the string underneath, at least on the wound strings. So that's good. In terms of its sound, it's difficult for me to fully say, because unlike with acoustic guitar where strings really, they make such a great difference, I feel like on electric guitar there are a bunch of other things that do contribute to the overall sound. The pickups, the scale length, the electronics, the pedals you go through, the amplifier, and strings are less important. I personally feel like in electric guitar, strings help. They give you a bit of extra brightness, but I think their biggest strength is in terms of how it feels to play. And I think that the Resonairr stuff is pretty good. I'm not as well versed on electric guitar strings. I don't regularly do videos and look at the intricacies between these differences. I predicted they would sound and feel like new guitar strings, and my SG feels better because I've now restrung it with some Resonairr strings, and I'm very grateful for that. What I personally noticed about the Resonairr strings, and it might be down to the way it's coated, like, it doesn't have necessarily the zingy top end that one might usually expect from like a new set of guitar strings. The advantage that this has is that it can sort of sound played in. I know at least in the acoustic world there are some people who really don't like the sound of that zingy top end on new strings, and as a result Resonairr have this kind of like played in quality in terms of how it sounds, so you're not having to spend that time like grinding away and wearing it in yourself. I guess it's like the string equivalent to buying shoes that have been pre-broken in. For me personally, I do like that top end zinginess, so for me it feels like I'm missing something, but I absolutely understand why it's advantageous for people who have different tastes to me. What's going to be interesting about this is like the price and consumer habits, and that sounds boring, but hear me out. So for the price, on the website it is a little bit under £12, it's something like £11.84 or something like that. And if you join their mailing list you can get 10% off, so feasibly you could get these for like a little under £11, like £10.60 or whatever. And you get free shipping on orders past a certain price threshold. Also, they've got a 30-day guarantee, which is a really good thing. I don't know about you, but for me, when I buy like guitar strings, I usually don't buy them online. I will go and buy them at a music shop. I'll go, and then after I've tried some guitars, I will, as a courtesy, buy a pack of strings. And the price of these Resonairr strings is really good, like £12 or less depending on what deals you can get. That's really good considering that other guitar strings like from Rotosound or D'Addario or Elixir, they're going to be in the £15 to £20 mark. So you're saving a good bit if you do go via Resonairr and via their website. So if the sound from today is good for you and you like what I've described from a feel standpoint, then you could save rather well by buying these Resonairr strings. However, as far as I'm aware, they're not stocked in like music shops. It's only available on their website. So you can go and save. It's just a case of, you know, spreading the good name of this smaller company. And I'm really glad that I got to do that. Thank you very much to Resonairr for sending me a packet of strings. It was nice to give them a test drive, and I look forward to seeing what I can do with those on my SG. So to give my final thoughts, I guess I'd say that these strings feel good, which is most important when it comes to electric guitar. Their sound is slightly immaterial considering the other stuff that goes into a electric guitar rig. However, it feels nice, and sound-wise, it's got like this pre-worn in, broken in feel. It doesn't have that zinginess, which some people might miss. However, like if you like to just get something that will settle in rather quickly, like you want to restring like the night before a gig, this works, and this is a good option for that. Add to this by ordering in and maybe buying in bulk and maybe taking advantage of what other deals Resonairr have, you can save yourself a good bit of money. Those are my thoughts. Thank you so much, Resonairr, for sending me sets of strings. Hopefully we can continue to chat and make some more musical magic together. Until next time, my name is Marc Gallagher. You can follow me on your social media of choice at Marc Gallagher Music, and also consider supporting me on Patreon. Marc Gallagher Music, Marc with a C. Until next time, my name's Marc Gallagher. Like the video if you want, share if you feel compelled to, and follow me on places. I'll catch you down the road.